Hello and welcome to Brian's Action Figure Reviews. We're back for another retro wrestle chat. And this week we're going to be taking a look at some of ECW's finest. Rob Van Dam and Sabu versus Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinkazi. I think I pronounced that right. But yeah, so prepare for a lot of battering of that name and mistranslation and stuff. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment and make a suggestion for next week. And enjoy the show, guys. And I'll leave a link for the match in the description because it's on YouTube, so it's free, so you can watch it. And we'll see you there, guys. Enjoy. Welcome to Brian's Action Figure Reviews, everyone. And today, Rich is a funny guy. We've got our retro wrestle chat as usual. This week's match is from ECW Heatwave 1998, and it is RVD the Stoner and Sabu versus Hayabusa. It sounds like a motorbike, and Jinsei Shinkazi. So, how are we getting on, lads?
Good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, man.
So, this week was my choice. What did you think of this week's match?
Oh, I have dissected this fucking match. I mean, I watched it twice, Brian. I have things to talk about.
I have lots of problems with it as well, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to say
All right,
it's
Rich.
straight.
Man. Yeah, I noticed a lot of things from let's say, certain angle. I noticed quite a few bits. I was a bit like, okay. Probably not the same ones as you, because obviously I totally think differently from you, especially today. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys have noticed and what I've noticed.
Okay. Like for me, I watched this years ago on a VHS videotape for anyone who's not up with the technology from 20 years ago. I rented this from a local video shop, Heatwave.
No way.
So that's how I kind of remember that match. And yeah, there's a lot more botches and stuff than I remember.
Oh, yeah.
But
Massive.
before I get on to the match, the one thing that fucked me off the whole way through the match was that fucking prick Fonzie with the whistle.
Yeah. Dude, I have it in my notes. I wanted to fucking kill him at the 6th minute of the match, at the 10th minute of the match, at this fucking 15th, 16th minute of the match. The dude would not shut the fuck up. Like
I get it's a gimmick or whatever, but there was one stage where there was a punch, whistle, reversal, whistle. I was like, oh, someone go there and fucking dig the head off that cunt.
it was overkill. Like,
Oh, stop, massively like. But so yeah, let's get on to the actual match itself now that we've all said how much we hate that little prick.
yes, I think we're all in agreement that Alfonso could fucking take a
And
fucking...
that's why he didn't get the WWE, I reckon, as well. Because you can imagine Vince McMahon seeing him and saying, not my office.
Okay.
You know, Vince, people like a whistler, like, come on, like that's a gimmick. You know, Vince loves a gimmick.
He does.
So
But
you
who
never
wants
know.
to go first on this one this week?
Well, I picked it, so I'm not going to go first. So I want to hear one of your guys' opinions on it.
I'll go first.
Go on, Rich.
So you look at this card. These are 4 fucking awesome guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like it's actually a fucking good pick. So I'm like, cool. I'm gonna watch this, and it was just like, see the first time I got pissed off. I was like, RVD and Sabu coming out late. This pissed me off. Your music's already on. Like, come on, man, get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
This match, to me, this match was too long.
Yeah.
And to me, right, I don't know if it's just me being me today, but was this a slow-paced match or something? Or was it just fucking me for the majority of this match? Was this slow-paced or was it just me?
I think
It
was
wasn't slow paced. It was a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, sometimes it's a bit like, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. And the next minute I'm like going like, oh wait, nothing's happened. Like, I was getting distracted and being like, oh, I haven't missed anything. Nothing's really changed. And like, I know it's a character, but Sabu's character in this match was just pissing me off as well. You know what I mean? Like,
Fucking thank you, Rich.
it was fucking pissing me off, man. And I just wanted to be up and like, yo, Sabu, no. You know what I mean? Like, it was just annoying me. But you know what? Like, RVD, man. I always got a soft spot for fucking RVD. You know, what man close to my heart. Like, dude, just like, it's just certain things, watching him again, do things, I was like, that's cool. You know, like his Van Daminator, I was like, man, like, when was the last time you got to see that in WWE?
It was prime RVD, which is fucking
It
class
was.
to watch.
It, oh,
Fat
man,
RVD
that was
runner.
so
Like, I think it was a bit of a clusterfuck, and it started slow because of so many fucking botches and stuff at the start. Like maybe the guys didn't understand what they were saying in Japanese because there were two Japanese guys, like, obviously. But by the end, I was fucking, like, some of the tag team moves at the end, when it got to the climax, I suppose you could say, were fucking epic. We'll go into that in our best spots stuff, but at the moment, let's talk about some of those botches. Like, the big botch for me was the table spot
Oh man.
between Hayabusa and Hakushi, they used to call him in WWF.
Which not even getting to the botches yet, and going back to what you said about the slow pace of it, Rich, and you were saying about Sabu and stuff. I wrote this down because I went through this match twice. This match didn't actually start until 5 minutes and 59 seconds into the actual clock, because of all the stupid Sabu RVD.
Yep.
Explain, actually, Brian, you know the match, right? I'm going to ask you because I know a lot of ECW stuff. I've seen a lot of ECW stuff that I've loved. This match, what were the fucking rules? Because I clocked it, right? The first 10 minutes was a regular tag team match, and then out of nowhere, it became a fucking tornado street fight. And I'm just going to hit it straight at the fucking end bell right here. I don't know if you noticed this, but RVD and Sabu won this match, but they didn't actually win this fucking match, because Hayabusa was tagged in at the 10-minute mark, and it was him and Sabu in the match. I don't know if you noticed it. Dude, they were the legal men for the entire rest of this match. This is what I mean about clusterfuck. Nobody else tagged. They were just all in the fucking ring. So Sabu actually pinned Shinzaki at the very end of it. He wasn't even the legal man. I was sitting there going, like, I have to, and that's why I watched it twice, Brian, because I was sitting there going, I have to have missed a tag here, because this is, I mean, the commentators didn't mention it. None of the wrestlers kind of seemed to notice. The ref didn't. I was going, this has to be me, like, not spotting this. No. I went back and watched all 25 fucking minutes of this thing for a second time, and I was like, motherfucker, they pinned the wrong fucking guy.
Like, I think ECW's always played fairly loose with the rules anyway, so...
Yeah, but this match was way too.
Oh, it was all over.
I think it was when it went outside, because did you notice as well, Rich? I don't know if you did. Did you see it, Brian? When there was a spot where the boys were all ended up outside the ring, and Sabu did the dive into the crowd. And to be fair, Sabu got fucked up the worst of all of them from a move he did. But then RVD catches Sabu and fucks him over the fucking railing like he's fighting him. That's what bothered me the most about this match in general, was I didn't know what the fuck was going on with RVD and fucking Sabu, because Sabu was fighting with him 1 minute, and then he was like, he was doing the pose with him, then he was fighting with him the next minute. And
he was pushing him off pins as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Are these guys that, like, did I miss something? Were these
I think the two of them,
they win the belts.
The two of them was massive rivalry, like, and they were just really fucking competitive.
But that's what
it was.
But going back to what Rich said, that's fine and all. If that was the case, then I'm like, okay, that's cool. They won the belts, but they don't like each other. But Sabu, like, I've seen Sabu in some great matches, man, and this was not one.
Some horrible ones as well.
But it's not even that. It was the whole 5-6 minutes into the opener. He kept, like, going in through the ropes. The ref, I was going, like, as much as Alfonso annoyed me. I'm with Rich on this. I was there about 6-7 minutes into this match going, Sabu, just stay the fuck out of the fucking ring and let the match start. Like, You know, I was getting so fucking annoyed with him at that point. Oh,
I, I think one thing for me was very hard to watch was Hayabusa doing the moonsault into the ring, because if any of you know the history there, like a couple of months or maybe a year later, Hayabusa, do you know where he springs off the middle rope and back into the center of the ring?
yes. Yeah.
He did that in Japan and slipped on the rope and snapped his neck. So anytime I seen him doing that, I was like, oh no.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, oh, he's been doing this for years without throwing any problems. Like,
Can I ask you a question? So, is that why Sabu got out of the ring and gave him time to balance when he did that whole like moonsault back into the ring pose?
I wouldn't say so. Like, because
If
he's
not-
been doing it for years before that. Like,
Because that's what I found with this match as well. I don't know if you noticed it as well, Rich, was there was a lot of spots like that. That like there was a spot where like Shinzaki was on the top rope, and he was just perched there, and RVD and fucking Kayabusha were like walking to the other side of the ring, and then Sabu was slowly getting up, but he waited on the top rope until Sabu
Like,
got up. It just looked
I-
so fucking stupid. Like,
I think there may have been like translation difficulties there, and that's why.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's why they were given a couple of extra seconds to get their spots in and stuff, because these guys had just come over. I think your man Jinkazi or whatever, he fought Bret Hart in WWF at one point as Hakushi, so he'd probably been going a bit more. But I don't think Hayabusa was ever long term in ECW or any American company, to be honest. So definitely translation issues there somewhere.
yeah.
So with all that, let's get on to some spots and stuff. Rich, I'll start with you. What was your worst spot or spots of the match?
Honestly, how can you pick?
I can.
No, but
No,
I mean,
I
like,
can as well, but
because
I agree.
To me, there was just so many of them, and because like this match was slow paced and there were so many botches, to me, like the whole match was just like shit.
It was a
Like,
clusterfuck match, yeah.
So then like I'm then struggling to find like what part is the worst. I would actually maybe just say the actual pace of this show was the worst part. The pacing on this was fucking horrendous, and I think like that's the worst part. Like spot is the whole match because the pace was shit.
Cubs.
For me, I wrote 3 things down. Like, obviously, for me, the biggest issue was the first 6 minutes of the match, because it took that long for one entire wrestling move to be done. Like, they fucked around for so fucking long. I found myself at a point 5-6 minutes in going, I would honestly turn this off right now if I didn't have to review it for the show. Genuine was thinking that I was going to. If I was just watching this randomly on YouTube, I'd be like, oh man, 5 fucking minutes and I haven't started yet. Bollocks to this shit. So that was my main thing, the fucking thing. But the spots that wrecked my head were obviously the springboard Kayabusha did, and literally like just landed on fucking RVD. And I think that was in the first 6-7 minutes of the match. It was the first botch. It was so fucking bad. It kind of set the tone for her. Like, oh shit, I hope he isn't going to be like this the whole match. And lo and behold, Kayabusha was fucking more or less the botch king of this match. But the one, believe it or not, one botch that I did not like, simply because it fucking scared me, I cringed watching it, was when Sabu had a fucking, it's the other dude's name with the white pants. What's his name again?
Let's call him Hakushi for now.
Akushi, yeah. He had him in the Boston Crab, and then RVD like did a fucking massive like diving leg.
The leg
like
drop
a leg
onto his
drop.
head, yeah.
But he landed all his weight on his fucking head. I just went like, that is so, as bad as all the other botches were, that could have killed the dude. That was a very fucking bad spot, man. Oh, and the one where Shinzaki was setting up the table and his leg tripped on the step of it and broke the table and fucked the whole spot. Like it was no redeeming the spot after that. Like, it was so fucked. I was looking at it going, lads, like, you've done this like a long time. Like, you know how weak realistically those tables are, like, and your leg fucks the spot up completely. Like, so bad that you had other guys running around the ring throwing tables in. just so they could get to that fucking spot. I was watching it going like, all right, I know ECW is loose with a lot of shit, and it really was like, you know, the backyard wrestling style in an arena like type environment. But Christ, you've done this spot so many times, you know? It was just ridiculous, like.
My worst spot, I'm gonna add to what you just said. The worst spot was the table spot, because, as you said, they fucked it up, and then they tried to do it half-arsed with leaning up the table.
And it collapsed.
And it just collapsed, obviously, because of their weight, like. And then, basically, it ended up Sabu brought the table in for RVD to get fucked through.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck? So what should have taken, 30 seconds, ended up taking about 3 minutes.
Speaking of fucking table botches, there was one as well where RVD got knocked off the top rope and bounced a leg and hip first off the table on the outside that was set up and never got fucking touched again.
Yeah.
Like, they set up a table for no reason and he crashed into that fucking thing on the outside. I was going, Jesus Christ.
Obviously there's that, and there's just the whole, there was a lot of the punches were so flaky and stuff as well.
Yeah.
It was just I didn't expect it out of ECW matches, basically. That's the one thing I expected with this match, was it to be hard hitting and fucking a bit of strong style in there, maybe because of the two Japanese lads. I know that's probably a bit racist, but anyway. It's not meant to be.
There was moments of it, because Hayabusa, he bitch slapped Sabu around this whole fucking match. Like, every chance he got, he slapped him upside the face. Like, I was going, Jesus Christ.
Wouldn't you just bitch slap Sabu? Yeah, so.
And I have to say, Eric, there was one moment I think it was the only moment in the match, but I actually belly laughed out loud watching it. Was I think Sabu has like an arm breaker or something on Hayabusa, and the camera just is on his face, and he just starts doing this. Look.
That's Sabu.
I was like, what the fuck is he doing, the little bastard? Like, I just found it fucking very funny. Like.
So for best spots, I think he might pick the same one as me, and I think it's because of the camera work made the spot. I think Sabu does a splash or something, lands on one of the other guys, and next thing out of nowhere, RVD just comes in like a fucking missile in the top of the other guy.
That was the Franken. He did a Frankensteiner too. He did a Frankensteiner off the top rope, and then your man had no sooner landed, and RVD just went bang. Funny enough, that was my fucking top spot.
It's mine as well, but I'm just saying, when it happened, I was like, oh, that's a good move. And next thing, RVD, like a homing missile. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I had forgotten that,
because if you remember, savage. Before he did the Frankensteiner, RVD was outside the ring.
Yeah, I watched the replay, and he went back around the side.
And when the camera was on him, he was still outside the ring. So I was kind of going how fucking fast did he get up on that fucking rope and launch himself? Like, he must have saw him in midair and went, whoom, you know?
Another good spot for me was seeing Jinsu Shinkazi doing the old Undertaker walk the ropes thing, except he walked the whole fucking way around. I thought that was fucking really cool.
RVD sold that really well.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Afterwards, he was holding the arm for a good while after as well. So he sold it really well.
And I think my last one was when they had I can't remember which one of them they had up in the turnbuckle, and RVD just pops up and your man just holds up the chair. Van Daminator onto the top turnbuckle. Seen stuff like that, was like, yeah, there's my member berries kicking in. So Tubbs, best moments.
Well, I said it already. My favourite spot of the whole match was the one with the out of nowhere, literally frog splash. That was just when it happened, because I'd seen this match years ago, but I couldn't remember half the spots in this match, because as I said, you were probably the same way, going, oh, this was a really good match and we should watch this, and forgetting that, oh shit, this was probably one of their worst matches. But that was my main spot. But then there was the power bomb. This power bomb into the 450 splash.
Yeah,
that was a savage one. Like, I mean, Hayabusa got fucking some height on that as well, like, you know. But then there was another one. There was it was the Rolling Thunder leg drop.
Yeah,
RVD
that's
just rolled into under, and Sabu launched over into a leg drop.
what I meant. That's what I meant by how the match it really took off at the end. It really started banging in.
That's what happened. I think it was in that frog splash moment happened. It kind of ramped up. It ramped up into a finish that was really seemed really lazy, and as I pointed out at the start, kind of fucked the whole match and ended up because they pinned the non-legal guy that had been non-legal for 10 fucking minutes. But two honourable mentions I will get that actually I did like was seeing what's his fucking name? I keep forgetting his name.
Fonzie, Sabu.
No, Shinzaki.
Shinkazi or whatever.
Yeah, we'll just say we'll call him Shinzaki. The internet.
You can do what you like to him.
Yeah, we'll call him that.
The guy with tattoos.
Well, he fucking just rocked out a Pele kick out of nowhere, like.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's fucking cool. And this was 98, so like, I mean, that fucking move was probably ahead of its time back then.
AJ Styles was watching at home.
My last favourite moment of the match was it wasn't even a move. They were outside, and there was shit going on. And as Rich said, RVD has a special place in everyone's heart because he just literally goes to the camera. That's my tag team partner. Walks off camera, and I'm going, "That's fucking hilarious, you stoner cunt." I just thought it was fucking so RVD to do, like, you know.
Rich, what was your best moments?
Seeing RVD in his prime again.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, come on, like, yeah, like that's a big thing. Seeing him in his prime again. Like, I love RVD. He's such a good wrestler. But mainly for me, it was like, I think it was your last one, Bri, was the Van Dominator. Like, I fucking love that move. I never seen that like for the first time when I was at my mate's house, Louis, and he's like, "Oh, check that!" Like in my head, I was like, "Wait, so you fucking like catch them off guard, throw a fucking seat to their face, then fucking kick it?" I'm like, "That's a fucking dope move." So just seeing that again for the first time in God knows how long, because even when I go back and watch some of the kind of missed years of wrestling and RVD happens to be in the card, it's no longer his move, and he doesn't do it, his trademark move because they don't let him do it. So just seeing that, I was like, that brought back so much good memories. So that, to me, like, that was the fucking highlight, because like, oh my god, like, I fucking love that move, and it just looked fucking awesome. So that is mine. I mean, the ones you were saying as well, you've called them all, you've said them as well, but the Van Damme, that to me, that was like, man, I remember fucking loving this move because it was so different. Like, who had anything like that at the time?
When he came into WWE, he stood out a fucking mile because straight away, like, because, and that fucking tilt-a-whirl leg drop onto the barricade as well. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
All the classics, I suppose you could say.
Even just like his cockiness, though, you know, when like getting his own announcement in and kind of thing, and then points of view and kind of going like,
yeah,
it's those moments, you know, you're like, this is why this dude's so fucking awesome.
Okay, guys, so obviously, like, was it the right winner? Well, we don't really know because we don't know what was going on around this. I think.
To be fair, I don't know if you can say the right winner because even though they won, they didn't really win. I mean, I dare you to go back and watch it.
I'm gonna die in this hill, like.
No, I'm not. It's not a hill. It's not a hill. It was one of those things that, you know, when you latch onto something when you're watching it, you kind of go like, "Wait, I'm not fucking crazy." Like, I know the rules to wrestling, and these rules haven't happened for the last 10 minutes because after Hayabusa got tagged in, and he kind of like, because they were squaring up for the whole. Do you remember it was RVD and kind of going back and forth with the two of them first, and then Sabu finally gets in. And they were even saying in commentary, like, "Oh, I'm Sabu, you know, wants a piece of this guy." And then he gets in, and then they go at it. They kind of built up to that. But they never tagged either one of their partners after that. It just became this. This is what I mean about the 10-minute mark.
It's like they dropped the rules after 5 minutes and said,
it's like the 10-minute mark hit the clock, and it was just like, "Oh, this is a street fight tornado tag now." And I'm kind of going, was it supposed to be this? I mean, and it kind of swayed me for a second.
You wonder, like, was it meant to be like a classic, just standard tag team match? But like, obviously, because like they fucked about for what, like the first 6-7 minutes you said, Tubbs.
Yeah.
And then
5 minutes 59 seconds.
And it was very basic wrestling to an ECW crowd. Are they sitting there being like, you know what, like, this is a shit match? we want more. So like halfway through the match, they were like, look,
Call it an audible or something.
the crowds are not liking this. Like, you gotta give them what they want. Make it hardcore, get a table, get the chairs, fucking fighting the crowds, do all this shit kind of thing. You gotta wonder if like that was something, because Heyman's a businessman, so he would totally be like, we need to keep this crowd excited because we need them coming back, because obviously he was never really making good money. And was it the right winners? From a business point of view, yes, because then you have to fucking pay those boys to come back to lose the belts, so it keeps it in the company. So from a business point of view, it was the right winner.
And it keeps your US champion strong as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, no. I mean, looking at the match as a whole, yeah, of course, Sabu and RVD fucking kind of, because as you said, they were obviously, I didn't know this, but I mean, I did know their rivalry because I've seen their fucking one-on-one matches and stuff over the years, and they're fucking being crazy. But and obviously that's the better choice to go forward, because they're probably going to lose the titles and they'll feud for the main one. But yeah, there was so many things. It was just like I was kind of going, shit, they never tagged them back in. This guy, so they're going for pins constantly on the wrong people. It was just it's like after about 16, 17 minutes in, I was kind of going like, this is silly. Like, the commentators don't even know who the legal man is in this match. Like, nobody seems to remember who the fuck was legally tagged in at 10 minutes. But look, that's another fucking here nor there thing. It's just, there was so many of those moments, and that's what I mean about being a clusterfuck, as Rich was saying, is, and even if that was the decision to go like, oh, this is kind of match is boring and the crowd aren't digging it, just change the rules. As a person watching that match, you're not in on that change, so you're going, what the fuck is happening now? What the fuck is going on? Why are they? I thought this. Why are they fucking? Why is there tables? And even if that was the case, they just make it a fucking street fight tag team match. Do you know what I mean? From the get go, and then you know. But yeah, it became a clusterfuck. Like, really and truly did. Like, you even seen in its very end when RVD went for the pin, and Sabu, his tag team partner, pushes him clean off him to get the pin. I was going, the fuck is Sabu up to at all? Like, I was going, Jesus, unless Sabu realised in that point of time, oh shit, I'm the legal man.
Maybe.
You know? I don't know.
Okay, so Tubbs, you've got the mic scored out of 10. You've got the mic scored out of 10.
I give it a 5 because there was a ton of spots I really, really enjoyed, but it was too much of a clusterfuck for me to kind of like really, really kind of love this match. I really didn't love this match at all. Like, I mean, it was just like it had enough things going on in it that I was kind of going, oh, that's entertaining. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I like that. That's a cool spot. Do you know? But as an overall match from start to finish, it lost me. As I said, if I wasn't reviewing this for the show, I would have turned it off 5-6 minutes in, because they fucked around for so long, and the amount, and as Rich pointed out earlier, the amount of botches from the get go, not even near the end or the middle, but from the get go of this match. So you got they fucked around for 5-6 minutes, then they started botching really fucking early. You're kind of going, oh Jesus, this is a really bad fucking start. Like, I think it was like 9 minutes before this match actually got off to like the races, and it didn't stay there. It didn't stay at the races, because about 4 or 5 minutes later, there was a big botch fest again, and then they get going and they were stopped. So yeah, this was probably one of the like really weaker RVD Sabu matches that I've seen over my years. Do you know what I mean? This was a kind of a much weaker than I remember it being. Do you know, from years of watching it back in the day or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, 5.
Cool. So for me, I'm going to give it a 6.5. Like, for me, it started terribly and botches and bullshit all over the place, but like by the end, I was bought in, I suppose, because all those fucking tag moves and shit at the end really gave it a little bit of an extra boost for me. Otherwise, if it had stayed at the same pace at the start, it would have been shit, and I would have wanted to turn it off. But because I think I remembered some of the bits, I kept with it. So yeah, just 6.5 for me. Rich?
I'm going to say 4. I mean, more bad things happen in this match than good things.
I agree.
I could almost agree. I was considering agreeing with Tubbs and giving it a 5, but overall, like, if like Tubbs said, if we weren't doing this for tonight, I would have switched it. I would have totally just been like, nah, fuck this. I don't want to watch this shit because all the fuckery. But then there was just like those one or two good moments, like apart from obviously RVD being like fucking great. But no, there was just only a couple of good moments to my point. I'm like, nah, it doesn't deserve anything lower than 4, so it's a 4. This once again always goes back to what I say. Great wrestlers have shit matches.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say there, Rich, actually was it comes back to the point I was making last week when we watched the Chamber of whatever horror shit.
Yeah. Yes.
Like great wrestlers would always stand out in shit matches, I would say, because RVD and Jinsei Shinkazi really stood out for me in this match.
I was about to ask you guys, like out of all the 4 guys in this match, who did you think were the standouts? And for me, it was anytime RVD and Shinzaki were in the ring together.
Tattoo guy.
That seemed like things were going much better.
Like that's a singles match I would like to see.
Kayabusha and Sabu really meant to, like when they were together. It just and Joe, what this match made me fucking forget as well was when Sabu isn't like reined in. He's a fucking messy fucking clusterfuck wrestler, man.
He's a garbage wrestler.
Yeah, I mean he's wicked at the hardcore shit, but you know when it comes to the actual like moves, like he did one thing there where I think he just grabbed the chair and he did do you know when they normally do the running like drop kick with the chair? RVD normally does like the circle run up into it and he lands it right dead center. He just did that to Kayabusha and I just literally fucking landed him square in the fucking side of the fucking face. Like I was kind of going, he's a very dangerous wrestler, man.
He's a messy.
Looking back at it, yeah.
But so Tubbs, it is your selection for next week. Hit us.
Okay. I was thinking. I had a good think about this last.
Don't think.
No. Because last week.
Is that revenge against me?
No. It's not a
revenge. This is going to be a WWF match because we picked WCW and ECW. I bet you.
It's not at all.
Okay.
I'm going to go way fucking left on this one. This is a match from ICW. Right? It is a women's championship match. This is our first women's championship match of this show. It's the Queen of Insanity match between Kaylee Ray and Piper Niven Viper.
What's this
That's
from?
my pick.
What's this from? The Irish show, is it?
No, it's I think it's an English or Scottish fucking promotion. It's Kaylee Ray versus Piper Niven. Now, and the reason I picked it was because I said, fuck it, we haven't had a women's match on. But when I read the synopsis of this match, it seems very death matchy, fucking ECW, hardcore chamber match type shit. So I was kind of going, why not keep it in the same vein as the last 3 weeks when we go with this and we have a female match?
We'll find that out, Rich.
I'll send you the link.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Well, then, that's my pick.
So tune in next week for our first ever women's match. And while you're at it, get in suggestions for other matches and subscribe and do all that lovely stuff and comment and tell us how much we're wrong and how much we're right, in my case. I'm joking.
Do what you feel.
Do what you fucking like. Tell us all we're all fucking losers. I don't care. But so thanks, guys. See you next week, or see you tomorrow for my normal videos. Bye. All good, champs.
Yeah, I just I